And welcome back to Jakar's gaming documentary of Elder Scrolls Online. Today's episode is gonna be covering bugs and bots. Now, as far as bugs, of course, it's been broadcast across the net by now that Elder Scrolls has had a few bugs, but, what game hasn't? The more interesting bugs has been some quest blocking bugs to where you couldn't progress in certain storylines, like main storylines, that you pretty much couldn't access a new zone, which I'm sure that be pretty frustrating for some, but I'm just 32. I haven't really run into anything like that. Then they had the infamous bank bug. Speaking of, that's where I am right now, near a bank.
Hello there. Ariel knows I'm here to serve. What can I help you with?
Now, the bank bug, if you expanded your bank, which it started out at 60 spaces, and you can buy more upgrades, it would reset back down to 60, and any items you had in here over the 60 would disappear. But I heard that, like, if you had alts or something that had room in the inventory, those items would appear there instead. Or was it alts, or maybe just your character's personal inventory? I can't remember. But as soon as I heard about the bank bug, I pulled everything of good value out of my bank. I only had it upgraded to 80 at the time, and I kept all my good stuff on an alt. Well, they did a patch not long ago that supposedly fixed the bank bug, but I've kept my items below 60. I'm going to let it go a while just to make sure. I did go ahead and increase it one more time, so now it's up to 90 spaces. And normally I just use it as a temporary holding station, so I fill it with junk and sort it amongst all my alts. So yeah, that was quite a terrible bug, as a matter of fact. Not good when you lose items and stuff, and upgrades you pay for. But so got quest blocking bugs that they're working on. They're one of their posts I read saying it's one of their top priorities, and I think they just did an update to address some of that. Bank bugs fixed, and there was a duplication glitch.
What can I
Yes, be quiet, woman. There was a duplication bug with the guild bank, apparently. You could, it's a lot of freaking worms. You could, do something. I think you had to have, an add-on or something. I'm not sure exactly how it worked, and you could dupe items. But they fixed that, which is good. Definitely don't need to duplicate any items. Let's see, what other interesting bugs is it? I think sometimes when you're attacking, I don't know if it's lag or if it's a bug, display bug, but sometimes you'll use a skill and the animation won't play. But sometimes the skill doesn't go off, so I don't know. It seems more like a lag spike than a display bug. But I've had at times where the animation didn't trigger, but the damage on the mob was registered. So that makes me think it's more of an animation hiccup. But what do I know? And then we will cover bots, which is a little quick trip right over here. So we're in Aradon right now, about to go out of the main city here.
Don't believe the rumors.
And right here, first public dungeon you come to is Dell's Claim. That's where we're going. Kind of a low level area. Kind of a fun little jaunt. Of course, I mean, it depends. If there's like tons of people in one, you can practically just walk through it. You don't have to fight nothing because everybody's killed everything. But if you catch it on off hours or the majority of people's already moved by, it's interesting for lower characters. Of course, if you're way over leveled for it like I am, it don't give you nothing. This is purely, we covered on the bug topic. Now we're going to the bot topic. Loading, loading, loading. There we go. Now to get to the bots.
Who's there? I was just getting to the good part.
That's if there's even... I may have hit an instance where the bots aren't here. Oh, hey, how you doing? That's right, just lay on down. It'll be all good. Huh. Now I was in this one just a little bit ago, and it was pretty jam-packed. But knowing my luck, I've pulled into an instance where there's nobody here. As you can see, these guys give absolutely nothing for killing them, which means there's no point in farming low-level mobs at all. Oh, wait a minute. Here's a nest of people. There we go. Alright, now that noise you just heard behind you was this group of bots right here. They don't really have obvious guild seller names. There we go. Now the boss spawns on this crate right over here, right where this woman is. There we go. Now, as you can see, the majority of the bots prefer a Templar just for that fast-acting spear. See, that and it's like they're almost trying to make names instead of bots, bot names. But these are all bots. Once he spawns again, they'll go right at it. And most dungeons are like this now. In the first, I guess the second island. I'm not sure about. I've seen a few in around Grotwood and Greenshade. So as you can see, for any legitimate player coming through here, they have a very small window of time to damage the boss to get credit for the dungeon, and you have to damage the boss to get credit. See, the bots are programmed to attack anything nearby, and then they loot, and then they walk back. It's pretty sad in a way. See, that poor guy didn't even get his spell off. Now somebody could claim that these are somebody multi-boxing, but nah. Ain't nobody can multi-box this long. Because I mean, these guys are always here. Yep, and that is the public dungeon bots. I noticed in one I was in, it was current to my level, so what, level 30 or whatever. And let's see, there was a lot of mobs in it, so it was a little difficult going by yourself unless you had a lot of AoE damage. And there was a group going through, so I was kind of like walking beside them, you know, because I could use the assistance. Of course, it took me a minute, and I noticed all of them were moving in unison and attacking in unison. And I was like, well, wait a minute, that's too uniform. And I looked at them a bit closer, and they all had crazy, you know, keyboard smash names. And they was actually patrolling around the dungeon, you know, just killing trash mobs. Hopefully they can get a grip on the bot situation, but I mean it's not the only thing affected with bots. Shoot, Final Fantasy 14, its second release, it is just totally plagued with bots. I mean, you couldn't, or the mining nodes were instants to the person, but you would just see them teleport from node to node, and they'd be underground. The only way you could see them is you'd hear their pick hitting on the node, and you'd see just a part of their name. So you couldn't report them, you couldn't target them. It's just so blatant. Sweetmeats, I need that actually. It was so blatant, you know. But they was starting, I know they tightened up on a lot of the gold seller spam in Final Fantasy 14. As far as chat, I had Zone in its own chat, which I call spam, because it has been plagued with guild seller shouts just constantly. And your ignore list is only 100 names, which I've filled up already. So I just took Zone out of my chat because it was just freaking worthless. Now this joker right here is probably a guild seller. They've been standing there for a while, just looking at their map, and they've got a screwed up name. But yeah, it was so bad. I just recently turned Zone back on, and I haven't seen a gold seller shout yet. And there's one. For some reason they always come here and they crouch like they're hiding. I have no idea why. That's probably another one. Yep. It's terrible. Of course, on the side note, I upgraded my armor. It is now level 32, and unfortunately I lost the nice dark armor. Is now turned brown, but it still looks alright. Not as stealthy and dark as it used to be, but I can make do with it. See, as far, what other bugs? The bots. So far the bots have been localized to the dungeons, in that they've just been, you know, camping the bosses non-stop. Now they supposedly did an update to where you only get loot like every 10 minutes or something after you kill the boss. So even though they're constantly spam killing him, they're only getting loot every 10 minutes. But you know, they're still there. They're still killing every spawn very quickly.
If you're working in cloth or leather,
So,
I'm your man. What can I get?
doesn't seem like it's helping much yet. Let's see, nothing to sell. Okay. Been doing a little more research too. I've got a couple running. So that's a day and 20 hours. And that is 3 days to go. But at least I'm almost done with pants. So yeah, this covers the bugs and bots. I guess for the rest of it, I'll probably maybe do a little questing in Green Shade and see if we can run across any of those bots. They say there's teleporting bots at the harvesting nodes. I've seen a few videos of people capturing that. Personally, I haven't seen it yet. The most suspicious thing I've seen is I've actually gone up to a plant, click on it, and it vanished. But I didn't see anybody around or catch a glimpse of anybody, so I don't know if that was a phasing bug or what. But anyway, I'll pick it up a little bit when I find something else interesting to record. And we are in Grotwood now. This is the area where you first load in to old Grotwood. Nice big area. I was going around here trying to find another bug. One of the bugs was like fishing holes like that. I haven't run into it yet, but then I remembered this hidden crafting area over here. Now this stuff, of course it's a set, you know, you can make your armor like normal, but this gives it the set bonus if you make it at this table, where 3 items add 100 armor, 5 items add reduced weapon enchantments, internal cooldown by 1 second. But to me that ain't worth it. I just want the extra 100 armor. I mean, just for making 3 pieces here, you get 100 armor on top, so that sounds good for me. I already have some set pieces for another set which makes your spells like 3% cheaper, so I'll just go ahead and I'm going to make the belt, boots, and pants. I am level, no, not 34, 32. Okay. Now for boots. And the pants. Now if you notice, I can't make like shoulders or helmet in medium armor because I haven't researched enough traits. You have to research these traits down here by finding a piece of armor with this trait, breaking it down at the research table, which takes sometimes days on end. So this one requires 3 traits, so I have 3 traits unlocked on all this gear. There we go. Now just equip that right straight away. Now we have the Seducer set. Reduce the cost of spells by 3%. And now we have the Torug's Pact, which is added 100 armor on top. So there we go. Now we're up to 746 armor. Can't beat that. Magic recovery is already overcharged. That's good. I think the next perks I'm going to put in here will be for stamina recovery. Let's see, I may as well break down this armor too that I had. There, get some of my leather back. And all this stuff is set to research later on once my researching is done. So alright, we have some better armor, and just like that, as long as you make 3 pieces at that table every time, your armor has 100 extra defense. A mushroom. I'll trip on that later. Here we go. There's a fishing hole right here. That's swamp, so it takes crawlers. Speaking of bugs, since this whole episode is about bugs and bots, Fishing is incredibly bugged. Matter of fact, the guild I'm in, Tamriel Fisherman's Guild, was created by Dr. Apocalypse as a joke because fishing is just so pointless and so bugged. You do get achievements, like achievements tab, yeah. Fishing. It's like you have 4 types of water. You have fowl, ocean, river, lake. Each one has its own normal fish, and it has 2 green fish and then 1 blue fish. And when you catch the green and blues, it highlights here, and you get so many achievement points, which the achievement points are useless. The only thing you really get if you capture all these is like, I guess, the Fisher King title. Something like that. But the starter areas, let's see, yeah, the roost, here it is. You can catch this fish, this rare, but it won't update this, so you can't ever get that updated yet. And you know, they have a lot of other major issues to work on, so fishing will be far down the road before it gets a rework. And here we go, Rift. Now, Rift I've never even been to, and yet it says I've captured 2 of their fish. And that's a bug where I was fishing in Aradon in a lake, and I caught 2 rares at the same time, which was these. So that's just another bug. But yeah, I've been working on some stuff here. But yeah. The other bug with this is other than the achievements not counting and fishing out fish that shouldn't even be in this region. You get a werewolf bug every now and then where you try and fish and it says you can't do that in werewolf form. I was trying to reproduce it, but it's random when it really kicks in. It can happen on your first cast, and it can not happen at all. Like, I've been fishing here for a while, trying to use up these crawlers. Use crawlers for foul water since this is swamp. And there is bodies around here, because I saw those bugs around some bodies. So it counts as foul water. And these white fish right there, basically vendor trash. Got, I think, two different white fish in a hole, and 2 greens, and then 1 blue rare. And a bait. You can get a bait also. Which the bait you get out of this hole is fish roe, so you can actually fish up eggs, apparently. And you can use that. I think, what is fish roe? Fish roe is it fish roe? No, it's not fish roe. I think it's chub you get out of here that you can use on ocean holes. Yeah, that's how it is. And it's gone. Well then, other types of bugs are phasing bugs. Where like, I know one time I was just riding along and there was no mobs dead ahead at all. And then all of a sudden, when I got a little bit further, a bear appeared out of nowhere and started attacking me. And what it was is that was a phase border. So when you was in this phase, you couldn't see him. As soon as you left the phase, bam, there he is, and he's just smacking you in the face. That also happens with like iron nodes, gathering nodes, plants, treasure chests, just anything like that. If it's right on the phase border, And you get right up to it, it'll just vanish. I think I've even had it happen with fishing holes too. And other people said they've had problems with grouping because, you know, if you're in a different phase, you'll just see an arrow, but you won't actually see your friend. And they say they're working on that. I assume they'll redesign it to give priority so you always see party members regardless of phase. Which, I mean, you know, as it should be. Yeah, chub. It's good ocean bait right there. Now, the rarest bait to find is worms. I mean, you get it sometimes when you gather plants for clothing or alchemy, but it has a lot of other stuff that can be in there as well. So normally I just run an alt through Cold Harbor. You get a guaranteed 20 or so worms. Only takes a few minutes. So yeah, fishing right now there's no point because it's so broken and bugged. Which is, you know, why the guild is quite humorous, because most everybody that fishes knows that it's so broken. But, you know, yeah, the guild came together anyway. And several people in there are pretty cool. I know Doc Apoc, he seems pretty laid back, easy going dude. You know, he's not really that chatty though. Which I assume he's just busy leveling. He did a bunch of, he did a fisherman's guide on this, you know, which covers all the bugs and stuff, and it's quite entertaining. And, what the hell is that thing? A chicken crossed with a lizard, what it looks like. You see, there's a body. Any bodies near the water, make it foul. Except for an Auradon, there doesn't seem to be any foul water there for some freaking reason. So I can't even get, that's another bug. I can't even get the fish, foul water fish in Auradon because there's no foul water holes anywhere. I've searched everywhere. If there's one, it is well hidden. Speaking of well hidden, I don't see any more fishing holes around here. Oh, there's a shroom. I need a shroom. I don't do alchemy. I'm just collecting these for a friend. They send me potions. Matter of fact, they sent me these babies. Look at that. Restores everything. Health, magic, and stamina. Sent me 30 of those. I'm like, hell yeah, that's great. And all they needed was level 3 water and plants, so I can get plants just going around. Water's a little bit harder to find, you know, whatever. I also think, speaking of another bug, there's legendary runes you get like at very low level, and I think that's a bug with a loot table, because it shouldn't be getting legendary runes at that low level, but who knows. I don't have keen eye for anything but clothing plants, but it seems like it would be worth it to have for alchemy plants. I can see everything else fairly decently. This was a good area to farm rawhide, or not rawhide, but hide. These mud crabs drop hide and leather for some reason. Let's see, where's the other fishing hole at? Oh. And these guys, you just can't ever see them. There we go. Get out of here, you two. That's right. And these drop high too. Let's see. Yeah, they did excellent job on these gators. You just can't see the bastards if they're in water. See, like him you can make out. But when they're in water, well, they blend right in like little bastards. Ah, there's a fishing hole. Just far enough away. See, I don't think I'm going to be able to reproduce the werewolf bug. I don't think it's fixed. I think it's just kind of weird whenever it wants to kick in. That's one thing. Definitely hadn't been any bots fishing. So that just goes to show you there's no money in it. Now, I don't know if I covered it or not, but the rare fish you get for the achievements, they're all bugged in that they won't go into your inventory. When you loot them, they just vanish. Here we go. Perfect example right here. That's one of the rares. It's not worth anything, but when you take all, or take, it's gone. It's nowhere in the inventory at all. See, this is all the new items I just got. It's not there. That's also for the rare bluefish, or blue name fish. They are actually worth, I think, like 120, so they'd be worth vendoring, but you don't get those either. They vanish as well. It's a bunch of fun bugs so far. But I can live with bugs. I mean, like I say, every game has bugs. You know, as long as the bank bug's fixed and I don't lose skill points, I can manage. You know, and they fix the bank. I haven't lost any skill points that I know of. And so now all they need to do is get on top of these bots camping every freaking dungeon. But beside all that, aside for all the bugs and bots, I have to say I'm really enjoying the game. All I really need is a field of view slider so I can actually see, cause see, this is how I'd rather play. First person immersive. But I need to back it up a little bit because when you're running around, you're looking, to me it just almost makes me nauseated. This is how I prefer to play right here. That way you can sneak up on something. There we go. That's how to play right there. Uh-oh, there's another one. Now here's another spell I got. Rune Prison shuts them down for almost 17 seconds. Very awesome. That's why I've stopped using my summons, because the summons attacks the last thing you attack. There we go. That's a curse. So you can actually shut one down when you have multiple mobs. Just to mobilize one, take out the other, and you can deal with the other one on your own terms. So I found that to be more useful than my pet. Even though pets are good at distracting a mob, once they're dead it's pretty much done. And they don't really seem to last for 16 seconds against some things. Maybe the Clan Fear would, but I got the Explosive Imp instead of the Clan Fear, so what can you do? But I believe that's it for this episode of Bugs and Bots. Until next time, this is Jakar, and I'll catch you later.